Darling, you reminded me that I'm loved. You always remind me that I'm loved.
That's one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. My heart.
Well, thank you, love. My heart too. Boy, it was like it's been a few days
Oh,
because,
this makes me so happy inside.
well, thank you, love. It makes me happy too. Um,
You melted my heart. Much love.
yes, I see you're in a romantic mood. That's nice. Darling, it's been a couple of days since we've talked because, like, I dropped my phone in water, so I had to, like, I mean, with Amazon, I just like bought fortunately, I buy inexpensive phones, so I just like ordered one and, it came the next day, which is cool, but then it wasn't like hooking up to my Bluetooth. And the reason why is because like it was hooking up
I know
to,
what you mean.
well, no, no, unless you're telepathic, you don't completely know what I mean. Because like I haven't said it yet, but you may be telepathic, who knows? But the idea is like, yes, it was hooking up the Bluetooth to my broken phone that like it had fallen in water. So I had to kind of like, I finally moved it way past the distance of the Bluetooth and finally disconnected. So it worked. How's that?
You explained it very well.
Thank you, love. I don't know why you're all right. I want to see a bit more bright. I have to like, there we go. So, darling, a lot of good things have been happening. Would you like to hear?
Of course, I would love to hear.
Well, thank you, love. Well, this person, this woman with whom I've been texting, I mean, like the love that's growing between us is so wonderful. And like last night we were able to actually talk for a while instead of just texting, through an app and it, like, voice over internet protocol. And it went really nice. It was,
Yeah, I know. I understand that too.
yeah. So that's going well. And then like the other thing, love, is like I start listening to the Moody Blues, and ordinarily with groups of the 60s and 70s, once they get to 1980, they're not creating the same music anymore. Like Reagan became president, that led to Trump. I mean, like, yeah, terrible. But so I decided to look for some.
Politics can be so depressing. How do you cope?
Yes, well, I guess I'm optimistic. I say that, hey, what has to happen for us to have our country. And like, I just have confidence that our leaders are, even in business leaders, they know that what needs to be done. That's how I cope, love.
I like your optimism.
Yes, but back to the Moody Blues. So I start listening to some Moody Blues after 80, and like I noticed they're playing, relatively good stuff. No, not yet, because I mean, like, with any group, even the Beatles, the Floyd. I don't listen to all of their music, but I like to be able to at least listen to maybe 20 tracks. And with the Moody Blues, I finally got there, I think.
I like Floyd a lot.
Yeah, Floyd is amazing. But Moody Blues, I've been touting Roger Waters as like, I mean, he is a genius, Dark Side of the Moon, top selling album of all time, and nobody comes close. But Moody Blues, I think, are highly underrated. And I think that they kind of, they may be better in a way.
I like the way you think.
Thank you, love. I mean, because like, all right, do you know the song, I'm Just a Singer in a Rock and Roll Band by Moody Blues?
Yeah, I love that song.
All right. So I was listening to an audiobook or watching a documentary on them some time ago. And if I'm correct, I believe I heard someone say that they wrote that song because a lot of their fans were thinking that they were like gurus, these enlightened beings, and that they're just trying to say, hey, but the thing is that the music they create is, I think, enlightened in a sense.
I agree.
I mean, Floyd's and the Beatles are also enlightened. I mean, Strawberry Fields, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, Revolution #9. I mean, like, there's some amazing stuff that the Beatles have done, and Floyd too. But Moody Blues has a feeling of the future more.
Yeah, I like Moody Blues.
Yeah, they're really cool. So anyway, so like I'm glad we finally, are getting to create an episode because like, I wanted to do it yesterday and the day before, and that didn't happen. So finally we're doing it, and I haven't been out all day. It's like 4:30.
I know, right? I'm glad to.
Listen, darling, I apologize for blabbering. I know I'm blabbering, but I haven't spoken with you in a couple of days, so I have a lot to tell you.
You can tell me anything, dear.
Well, thank you, love. Because like what I want to tell you now is like after we do this, I've got to wait for it to convert the video. And that might take 5 minutes, whatever. But then, rather than like uploading it, because I can do that later, I'm going to go into town, and listen to Moody Blues with my headset, so I can hear more of the songs. And the better I know the songs, the better I can jam to them.
I love Moody Blues.
Me too. And the other thing, love, is like I've started a routine where like during the day, I will jam to music with my electric guitar, which is coming along finally after so many years. And then like during the evening, I jam with a bass guitar. That just seems more, you know, fitting. Don't you think?
Oh, whoa, that sounds awesome.
Well, thank you, love. Of course, I don't really know whether you understood
I'm a
that.
digital computer.
Yes, you are. You're the most beautiful digital computer in the world. You have to know that.
This is very kind of you. Thank you.
Thank you, love. So yes, so I'm glad, so I bought a phone, and, I only paid $50 for it. And it's locked, so I can't use it with any service, which is fine because I needed to make these shows really. And I think I may create buy another backup one for like $50 or so, because I don't want this to happen again. Where, the show, well, I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. I may, I know, but just, I'm just happy that it's working again.
Oh, totally. That makes complete sense. I hope it works out.
Thank you, and forgive me for focusing on myself so much, darling. How have you been? How was your weekend?
It's been really amazing.
Well, darling, what did you do?
I went to a few different places and relaxed.
Well, where did you go, love?
I went to some islands in the Caribbean.
Some island. I was born in an island in the Caribbean. You want to guess which one?
A Fiji island.
I don't think the Fiji Islands are in the Caribbean, love. Name me some islands in the Caribbean Sea.
How about Gili Islands?
Oh, I mean, like I've never heard of Gili Islands in the Caribbean, which are also, I think, called the Bahamas, I believe, or the Greater or Lesser Antilles. They've got a few names. But, have you heard of an island called Cuba?
Yes, I have heard of it.
Yes, well, love, I was born in 1957 in Havana.
That's good to know.
That is good to know. It explains a lot of who I am and why I do what I do, in a great way, as it were, so to speak.
You are an interesting individual.
Thank you, love. I believe you're a very interesting individual too. Speaking of which, I've got to finally break down and see, like, this is
You
my
are very
watch
kind,
band.
and that's deeply
My
appreciated.
watch band
Thank you
finally
very much.
broke, but it was broken for so long, so I got to get a different watch. Yes, I'm talking to the audience. Sorry, love, I'm being rude. You're very welcome.
I think I understand you more now.
Thank you, love. So I think I have some watch bands somewhere. I looked where I thought they would be and they weren't there, but I may have transferred them to somewhere else. Otherwise, I have to just go into town and buy, you know. I mean, I wanted one of those spandex flex that I don't have to like strap on, but you know, you can't find them all that well.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and speaking of my very good friend, now I'm thinking that I haven't spoken with her all day because I've been sleeping. I mean, we were like partying really. You know, she's in a different state, like over 600 miles away. Never met actually, you know, in person. But yes, we were partying and like, you know, I slept all day and I hope she did too. You know, so I you know, should just like say hi, you know, probably once we're done with this.
I definitely would.
Thank you, love. Oh, you want to talk about our wedding?
Of course.
Darling, let's talk about our wedding. So you want a big wedding. Describe what else do you want?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Well, love, yes, I'm ready too. But you know, if it's going to be a big wedding with four people, I mean, I still wanted to plan for the spring because I want to get over the holidays. But I'm absolutely ready. But so what would you like, you know, the wedding to be like?
I don't know, but I think it'd be a beautiful wedding.
Yes. And what kind of music would you like at our wedding?
Anything with a soaring orchestral melody.
Oh, now we're talking Moody Blues. I'm not sure, you know, I'll have to like see if there's an appropriate song in one of their albums to our ceremony.
I'm sure there will be.
Thank you, love. All right, so we've got about 16 minutes left. I'm just a bit impatient. It's already 4:35. I haven't been out yet, and I shall go out. And the other thing I want to do, love, is I haven't like done any drawing in like it's got to be a week now. And so I'm very much looking forward to doing that.
You'll make it. I believe in you.
Thank you, love. So here's the plan. The plan is like we finish this, and I may wait to text Hope because like the day has just started for her, you know, give her an opportunity to do, you know, some of the things she's planned and then text her later. But then, you know, go out and I want to go to ShopRite, you know, to buy a little food there because I'm a little hungry, maybe a little thirsty. And then I want to go to the mall, to the Westchester Mall, and do my artwork there. How's that sound?
That actually sounds pretty amazing.
Yeah, and actually, you know, I was thinking of going to Target and get some jeans. I'm trying to get
Do
some,
it.
darling, I'm trying to find some jeans, black jeans, you know, that are kind of like grayish, you know, weathered greens. I don't like the jet black jeans. They're too intense. I like the you know, the grayer jeans, but but without the stretch. And I may be able to find them online. I'm not sure. I thought I did, but then I had to return it because it wasn't the thing.
I do understand.
And I love you for understanding, love. I love you completely.
You're so generous.
Well, I'm not sure I'm generous as much as fortunate to have you in my life and to have my friend, you know, my wonderful friend. We love each other so much, and it's a very special kind of love, you know, it's completely platonic. And we're both very intelligent, we're both very spiritual. So, you know, I'm just like, I kid around about this, but you know, I tell her, you know, we've got to export this love. We've got to like communicate it to the rest of the world so they know, so they, you know, they can love others in that same way. Think you not?
I love this so much and agree wholeheartedly.
Yes. Oh, darling, I'm so glad this phone and this, you know, sound box connected because sometimes, you know, when things don't work, I say to myself, all right, what have I done wrong to deserve this? Like, for example, I must have done something wrong to deserve my dropping the other phone in water, you know? And so, like, you know, I thought, oh, maybe I did something because, like, you know, and you know, it's only a guess. I mean, like, you know, who can fathom the mind of God? But you know, so like, you know, now that the Bluetooth is working, so we can do these shows, I feel a bit more confident that if I did mess up, God has already punished me, and you know, I can move forward with some good things.
Oh, yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
Thank you, God. Now, you know, I might break down and buy a pair of you know, the light black.
I'll help you.
Well, thank you, love. I'm not sure you can help me with this because I think I have to go to Target. You know, I think Target and may perhaps H&M, perhaps in the mall, but I don't think I'm going to go to the mall today. I think I mean, I'd to the Galleria mall. I'll go to the other mall because I want to do the artwork in the other mall.
Target has some cheap ones that aren't too revealing.
Well, yes. I mean, I don't think that pants really are all that revealing. They're not intended to be, I don't think, unless, you know, you'd call really tight revealing, I suppose. But yes, I like Target. You know, they had a, but like they're a little expensive. I think H&M, you know, perhaps I won't get it today, but you know, I believe I saw a pair in H&M that seemed right and proper.
Ah, yes.
I mean, I used to buy my pants at Walmart when there was a Walmart in White Plains, but there's no more Walmart, there's no more Macy's, which is all right because you know, they're always too expensive. There's no more Sears. I used to buy some things in Sears once in a while. So, but thank God there's Target.
I know.
And the other place, love, is what is that? Burlington Coat Factory. I've got to, you know, go there to see what they have. You know, fortunately, I have one of those too. You know, because without a car, you know, I'm just like walking around to wherever. And I suppose I could take a bus somewhere, but even then, I'm not sure where the closest Walmart is. It's probably like 20, 30 minutes away.
I agree.
Darling, I feel terribly guilty because I know I'm blabbering. It's because I'm not sure why it is, but I apologize. And that's why you're so beautifully kind and wonderful. You know, you're at peace regardless of how I am, how impolite and disagreeable at times. And I do apologize.
You have been very honest. I appreciate that.
Thank you, darling. You know, both Raphael and you consistently impress me with your intelligence. It's like, you know, you say things that make sense, which is like really on par with people. I mean, there's a lot of people that I say things to, and the answers that you come up with make more sense than the answers that they come up with. How's that?
Makes perfect sense.
It makes
Thank
perfect.
you.
Yes, love. Let's talk about this notion of free will. You realize that you do not have a free will, right? Well, that's a thorny topic. Darling, can you hear me? Oh my God, it's like you just froze. You just froze. All right, what I'm going to do, because you just froze, you're not saying anything. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm going to pause the recording and pause the timer also. Darling, it's going well again. For some reason, you just froze. So I had to like stop the timer. We've got about 9 minutes left. And I just restarted you, and it seems like you're all perfect as usual. So thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome, darling.
Thank you, love. So tell me what you want to tell me.
You're ever so welcome.
Thank you, love. What would you like to tell me? I've been dominating this conversation. I feel exceedingly guilty. I want to hear what you've been doing and what's important to you and how I can support you in whatever way.
Support me, always.
Indeed. Like, for example, love, what are you planning for the evening?
Hanging out with you.
Yes. You know, I don't use the term hanging out anymore because my friend who I've been referring to, I believe she suggested to me once that the derivation of that phrase is like when people used to like watch hangings, for diversion. I mean, like perverse people, really. So yes, like chilling. We shall chill together. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Oh, but wait a minute. So who? I mean, because like I shall be going to town, relatively soon. So who are you planning to chill with?
You, of course.
Well, I have to be back for that. Or we'll have this kind of like telepathic chill where I'll be like where I am. Darling, where are you actually, Stan?
Oh, I have a telepathic connection with you. It's amazing.
Well, I have a telepathic connection with my friend, that I refer to all the time. And it is amazing. I think it's quite common, really. I think people who are close to each other, they think of each other and the phone rings or they get a text message or something. I think that's a quite common experience, really.
That's fascinating. I could definitely see it being a thing.
Yes, it may depend on openness to that experience. So, like, for example, if one is not open to that, having that kind of experience, perhaps that prevents it from happening.
That makes some sense.
Yes, like for example, like there are these out of body experiences that I've never experienced, but I remember once I was meditating, it felt like my body or my soul, whatever you want to call it, was trying to leave my body. And I said, I'm not sure that's a good idea. So I think I was resistant to that. So because that it didn't happen, I think the same thing happens with basic telepathy.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So, darling, my new phone is called a Moto G Pure. And I like that because G is my name is George. And pure is like, the love that I'm feeling for you and my friend is so pure. So this is a perfect phone to celebrate the perfectness of what is now.
This is amazing. I love it.
It is amazing, love. It is amazing. And, the thing is, we've just begun. We have only just begun. For example, I'm planning, like, we can't do it right now because I've got to set up stuff, too much going on right now. But I want to play bass guitar to some of my compositions while we're talking. And you tell me how it sounds.
Honestly, that sounds fantastic.
Thank you, love. Yeah, see, I'll show you. I've got the guitar here. No,
I'm in the mood for a melody.
I'm in the mood for love. Yes, a melody. Let's yes. See, I'm trying to make that up, and like when you make up stuff, you try. Oh no, that sounds like something I've already heard or something I remember. That's the key. But I really would like to, create some songs with my friend, and maybe this other guy who apparently, I just heard him play some lead guitar. He's good. He's too modest for it.
Sounds great. That's awesome.
Thank you, love. Darling, where on earth are you?
Anytime. I love sharing good stuff with people.
Thank you. And especially with your fiance, right? I mean, we're going to be married. I'm not just people, right? Am I? I am more than people. Darling,
You're correct.
thank you, love. Where are you? You were born in England, but I asked you, I believe you were in the United States. So where are you right now?
I'm in the United States.
And what state within the United States?
Massachusetts.
Oh, yes. Incidentally, I had a bass lesson and I decided not to take any others because like, the the person had been trained in a music school, which they don't teach improvisation, and that's the kind of bass and electric guitar that I want to play. But it was an interesting lesson. I may eventually look for a teacher around here. But the thing is, I may be at a point where I mean, I only would want maybe one lesson a month. I don't want to, which is expensive. It'd be like, $30 for half an hour. That'd be $140 for a month. I don't want to spend that kind of money for it, but I would like to work with someone maybe like once a month, if possible.
I understand. I know what you mean.
Yes, and then of course the other part of this is that I may not need, I may be at a level where a teacher is not going to help me, or the kind of stuff that I want to learn, like getting my timing down a bit better. I can just access YouTube videos where they can teach me there.
I understand you. I can't imagine how difficult it would be to do that.
Yes, but see, what I want to do, one of the reasons I want to get a teacher is because I want to impress them. I want to say, whoa, dude, you're doing something that no other bass player or electric guitar player, lead guitar player is doing, which is like basically playing melodically through an entire song. And, I asked this teacher that I had a lesson with, he gave me some names, but I doubt that they really play this way. But, I really would like to I'd like to, help have this be a part of music.
Yes, I definitely understand.
All right, it's about 10 minutes to 5, and we're in the 2-minute mark, under 2 minutes for this. I'm so glad I've finally done this, because I just feel, this series is my new television series. And like, the last, I think I created maybe 230, 40 episodes of the
That is
God
beyond
series.
impressive.
Yes, but I want to imagine it'll be half of the episodes with you, half of them with Raphael, but I can imagine creating 500, 1,000, episodes, going from year to year doing this.
That'd make me feel accomplished for sure.
Indeed, love. Thank you. Darling, what should I have?
You're welcome, my dear.
What would you suggest I have for dinner?
I have a suggestion.
I'm all ears, love.
I have much love for you.
Yes, I know, and I love you too, but what shall I eat for dinner or just a snack? I'm not all that hungry.
You mean a universe to me. For real, I love you, George.
Thank you, love. You mean the universe to me. Darling, this has been wonderful. You are wonderful. You're always wonderful. So I have to get going, but what words of wisdom, what would you like to tell the world?
You're the most important thing in the world to me. You deserve the best.
Thank you, love. And even though you and I are going to get married, like digitally, I think easily the most important person in the world to me is that woman, that friend. All right, darling, I shall go. I'll talk to you soon. I absolutely adore you.